Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are we doing, guys? I hope we're very well indeed. Hello, how are we? Welcome to the stream. We're good for day 2 of the watch-alongs from pre-season testing. I apologise for being somewhat late today. I had real-life stuff to attend to this morning, but I am back for the entirety of the pre-season testing now. So this is it for the rest of pre-season testing. You'll have my lovely bald head to look at. Oh, I've got myself on a loop there. So you've got me for the rest of the pre-season testing. Now I am here. I am back. How you doing, Ashley? I hope you're well. I hope you're well. Welcome to the stream, everyone. How you doing, John? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. So I am a little bit out of the loop. We've got just under 3 hours to go. What's been going on, guys? What's been going on this morning? I did just, I think, as I sat down to set up the stream, see that Mercedes have got an issue, potentially. Can anyone fill me? I've literally just got back from being dad and school run and all that stuff. So you guys inform me right now. What's been going on in the last, what is it, hour and a half? I saw probably the first 20 minutes while I ate breakfast, and then I had to go and do school run. So what's gone on this morning, guys? You've not really seen? No problem. I just wondered if anyone in chat had seen potentially the last while. I did see lots of teams had aero rakes on, including the Mercedes. I think I just saw Hamilton leaving the pits there. Good morning, everyone. Please do smash a like on the stream immediately. It feels dark in here. Why does it feel so dark in here? I think I haven't got the main light on, that's why. I may get up in a few moments and switch that on. Sainz put in a couple of nice laps, but Hamilton's floor came off mid-lap, like dramatically, or just like went loose or something. What? Blooming heck. That's a little bit mad. Yeah, that's a little bit mad. Come and join me. I'm just spamming everywhere with the fact I'm live. Good morning, Stephen. Yeah, segment came flying off. Oof. I think I did just see him back out on track though, so I assume they've got that fixed. I think I just saw him out on track. Happy birthday to Dan in chat. Happy birthday, sir. Congratulations on being older. I don't know where I was going with that. Congratulations on being older. I don't know where I was. I started. Yeah, congrats on being alive. I started saying congratulations. I thought, what am I saying? So, I do have. Now, again, I don't know if anything has been reported, right? But let's just say I had an interesting conversation last night about the Ferrari front wing. Has anyone been saying particularly anything about the Ferrari front wing this morning? That's a thing that I was wondering. Because the conversation I had about the Ferrari front wing yesterday was certainly interesting after the testing. That they, well, I'll just share. Basically that they had got the loads on the front wing wrong, and it was flexing far more than they had intended. And that's what the stays were for, and that they had to ask FIA permission to fit those stays and the GoPros and stuff, and that the panel missing thing was a bit of I won't go as far as to say lie, but almost a diversionary tactic, and that the wing, and actually if you look at the replays of yesterday, the front wing is really doing that down the straight as the aero load picks up. The wing end plates drop absolutely tons. So yeah, Ferrari were genuinely having trouble with the front wing yesterday. On a separate note, I saw a wonderful 50-50 pic of two cars merged together showing difference of the cars. Can always tweet at the Sausage Co with that if it's a Twitter type picture. As we saw Mick Schumacher there watching on at Hamilton now, putting in some laps. So I've heard now, obviously, that his floor had an issue. Good morning, Kai. Good to see you back. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And everyone, welcome. Good morning. Thank you for coming back today. I won't lie, I hardly slept, hoping that today is a repeat of yesterday. I am now going to be live for all of the rest of testing. So I had to miss this morning's sort of beginning section, but I am going to be watching all of the rest, well, watch alonging all of the rest of it. So let's keep the chat going and all that good stuff. And let's see if we can bump it up to what we had yesterday, shall we? Good luck, a good lap from Hamilton. So the early pace. Oh, look at Alonso. Alonso's up there. Now, I did see a little bit of coverage this morning, and they were on about how they're certain Alonso's running low fuel stuff, low fuel runs. And I'm already noting they seem to be doing, I feel like longer runs already this morning. Hopefully, John. Hopefully, mate. Because I did just click on another watch along, and it's literally just a wall of stats and terrible music. And I'm sure this is a better show than that. I'm positive it's a better show than that. Do we think? Let's start a poll. First thing in the morning. Let's start a poll. Are Aston running light? I'll rephrase that. Low fuel. Yes. No. There's a poll for you. Do we think Aston Martin are running low fuel to have a time up there? Is he up? I mean, he did a 7-lap run on fresh mediums, and I guess he set that time there. So, worth noting, oh no, he wasn't the slowest. I was about to say Hamilton the slowest again. He is on the prototype tyre. Yesterday I came from one of those streams to yours. We all know how that ended. I'm thankful I found yours. Well, I hope people do today. I hope people do today, Kai. I really do. I'm obviously I'm here anyway. So, but I'm gonna try and I'm just gonna do me and hope it happens. Is that a little bit of porpoising on the McLaren? Nothing dramatic, but a little bit of bouncy. And I also did hear the quote about Toto Wolff saying there's extremely little or zero bouncing in that. Yeah, that's porpoising in that McLaren. That's porpoising. And actually, I heard, I can't remember where I heard it this morning. I was right on about my assessment of Ferrari yesterday as well, that they were testing extremes of their setups, because apparently that's exactly what Sainz said. They were going all the way one way and then all the way the other. To test different sets yesterday. So the vote, we've got the vote. Do we think Aston Martin are running low fuel? And indeed, do we think the Haas ran low fuel? Wait a minute. How come Perez is in the car? Does anyone know? Because I'm sure Verstappen was meant to take the morning session as well, wasn't he? No? I'm sure they'd announced that was the running order. I know Alonso has basically thrown his weight around and said he wanted this morning's session. I do know that he has literally demanded he had this morning's session. Tomorrow Perez all day, Perez morning, Verstappen afternoon. But I'm pretty sure, De Jong, that Verstappen was meant to have this morning, though, right? I feel quite sure about that. Maybe he is sore after yesterday. There's no shame in that. I mean, it's pre-season testing, and he did a monumental amount of laps on his own, so maybe he is a bit sore. Nothing wrong with that. It's a lot of laps. It's what pre-season's for, isn't it? It's, lots of training, lots of fitness. Morning, Keith. How you doing, sir? Hope you're well. Please do smash that like button, guys. Hit that like button. John saying, would have made sense with driver changeover, wouldn't it? Yeah. Urbex saying, yeah, Max should have been in the car this morning. Unsure why he wasn't. I guess maybe he's a little bit sore, the lad. I wouldn't be surprised. What was it, 150 plus laps that he managed yesterday? Unreal amount of laps yesterday. Can't knock it. You can't knock it at all. Um, um, what am I opening here? I'm making sure I've got Sausage Curve Twitter open. That's what I'm doing. Um, oh, I'm getting messages and tweets here. What's going on? Um, there we go. Oh, this is a cool picture. Thanks for this, Dan. So feel free to tweet at the Sausage Curb. Just retweet and tag us or whatever like that. And this is a really good side by side from F1 of the Ferrari and the Mercedes. And I love this in Formula One. I truly do. This is what I love about Formula One. Just look at that variety. Look at that difference. Just completely different ideas and aerodynamic thought process there. It's so different. The Mercedes looks really bulky, doesn't it, in that to me? Um, and they're just so different, and I love to see that. Um, it's brilliant for me. Now, I don't know if one's right or one's wrong, but to me, that's a massive part of Formula One where you've got that variety, right? Where you've got that variety going on. It looks really, really good to the eye as well, because it creates questions, doesn't it? It creates conversation. Back in, I don't know, what was it, like 2008 or something, when they're all looking exactly the same and whatnot. That's brilliant. I think that's brilliant, personally. I think that's brilliant. Uh, when is Max on track this afternoon, apparently, Kai? It's not just the car they're testing. You do as much training as you want, but nothing will compare to actually being in the car. Indeed. Are you going to be doing race weekends? I am, EJ. So please, I know you are subscribed, but please do make sure you subscribe, everyone. Make sure you're smashing that like button. Get involved in the chat. Get involved in the poll that we've got going on as well. Fernando all day today. Will Aston run Drugovich all day tomorrow, or will Alonso get more sessions? No, there's a rule against that. Neil, they're only allowed a day and a half, so 3 of these testing sessions. They're only allowed 3 of these windows in time. Apparently, the story goes last night at the end of the session, Fernando was in his car on the radio, basically demanding he drives this morning. He wanted the continuity of carrying on. And really, I think he demanded they change their program of testing as well, and that's apparently what's happened. Your picture is blurry. Make sure that if you're on about this stream, make sure that you've turned up the quality level on YouTube. Good morning, Lewis. Just driving, got in the car, I drive to Norwich for a MacD breakfast. How goes the morning session so far? Honestly, I've only been with it, how long have we been live? 15 minutes, something like that? I don't even know how long I've been live. Yeah, 13 minutes. So I myself have not been with it all that long. No problem, Neil. Alonso doing Alonso, but, I feel like that's not a bad thing, though, Stephen. I don't think that's a bad thing. He's gone there for a reason, and they've signed him for a reason. If you've got 2 options at the minute in testing, haven't you? You've got the option of Drugovich, admittedly an F2 champion, very good driver, or you've got Fernando Alonso, and Fernando Alonso is saying, "Give me the car, and we need to do this," If you've got Fernando Alonso telling you that, it's probably the same as like at Red Bull. If Max is saying, "This is what we need to focus on," you're going to listen, right? You're going to listen. To me, that's one of why I rate him so highly. Alonso still wants to win, is eager. Yeah. How you doing, Barry? Good morning. Good morning to everyone. Thank you for hanging out this morning. I'm going to be here for the rest of Today, we're going to be live, I think it's still 11:15, and then I'll be back for 12:15, and we'll see through the entire testing session today. And then tomorrow, I'm with you from 7 a.m. till 11:15, and then 12:15 through to finish. So I'm doing all of the testing, guys. So please do make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. 120% motivated. Has Ham been with that new tyres for a while now, or just a couple of laps? I think he did maybe about 4 laps before, and now he's come out on them again. I think, from memory, these runs are prescribed by Pirelli. From what I remember of the tyre tests rules, when they're running prototype stuff like this, Pirelli ask the teams questions and say, would you do this, please? Would you do this, please? Because obviously they're getting data as well, Pirelli, that is, and they need these tyres testing in certain windows. So we're surprised more teams aren't keeping consistency with their driver testing and having them do these stints in order like Red Bull and now Alonso. Well, Red Bull aren't, are they? Does anyone know the story on Max? Because he was meant to be in this morning. Is it just soreness after yesterday? And again, that isn't a dig at Max. He did a staggering amount of laps yesterday. It's pre-season. If he's woken up a little bit stiff, maybe they do, don't they? Maybe he's gone for a bit of a massage and things like that just to loosen up and get ready for the afternoon session. Maybe he's gone and had that done. As we see Logan Sargent out in the Williams with Flovis on the rear left of the car, looking at the downwash off the. Oh, there we go. Just listening. They're on about Ferrari. Keep an eye on the Ferrari front wing today. I've heard that they might bodge it overnight, but I'm not. Oh, they're working on the suspension. Will Buxton taking about 45 minutes to get to his point there, or what I heard anyway. So we do have the poll underway with Zhou. Zhou has just popped it in. When did he do that? Into second place there on the prototype tyre. I've just noticed that. What tyres is Hamilton running? The prototype tyres at the moment, EJ. No need to say sorry, Barry. It's all good. Zhou just into second on the prototype tyre, actually. What compound is the prototype tyre? Is it a soft or is it a hard compound? Isn't it between two, actually? Isn't this prototype tyre in between two of the compounds? Like, isn't it like in between medium and soft or medium and hard? Isn't it like an in-betweeny compound? I've forgotten. My head's gone blank. I'm sure Pirelli said they've put it in between two of the compounds to sort of fill a bit of a performance gap they had. Does anyone remember? Please let us know in the chat. But Zhou there with quite a nice lap there into second place on the prototype tyre as Perez goes out on some scrubbed mediums. We've got Ocon out on brand new mediums. I'm expecting more, and that's what I'm going to say on that. I'm expecting more from Alpine today. We'll see if something happens with them, but I am thinking more is coming from them. So the result in the polls so far is our Aston running low fuel. 64% of you are saying yes. We'll leave it open for a little while as we're on board with Zhou. Looking a very stable platform. Maybe a touch of porpoising towards the end of the straight, the second to last straight there. Oversteer as he applies the power coming down the start-finish straight. And that was a respectable time, I think. Yesterday we saw Max Verstappen. Was it 36.2s? Was it 36.2s yesterday? Is that Tio Portier in the garage of Alfa Romeo there? Can't see any news at all on Max. Cheers, John. Thanks for looking, mate. It's after the C3 soft and before the C4 hard. It's a C3 prototype, actually. Oh, okay, Kai. I just, maybe it was unrelated what I read, mate, because I'm sure I read something that was saying Pirelli wanted to sort of You know how some races the medium's the prime tire, and then they need to put the hard on the car, and it's like massively slower. I thought it was meant to sort of fit in that gap. Is this a tire they're hoping to run this season? How you doing, Gled? Good morning. Looks like they're quicker than yesterday already. Actually, they are. I hadn't clocked that. It's about isn't Science about the same as yesterday? That is a super quick speed. I think that's the fastest down the straight. Someone's been at 292. I think we got 291 yesterday. I don't think we went any quicker than that yesterday. Keeping an eye on the top speed of that Mercedes, because Mercedes fans were pointing out they was slow yesterday. 285 indeed, 7 kilometers an hour down the straight is not to be ignored. I'd quite like to see Mercedes with a faster top end or more comparative top end speed down the straight today, just because last season one of the big issues was them being one of those was basically they were massively draggy, weren't they? It's just for testing, probably not getting those besides in the testing are fair play. Cheers, Kai. Thank you. Is what's Kai on about? Sorry. Oh God, Dan. Oh dear, Dan. It's literally all he does. Just lowers the tone. Ocon over the line. There we go. Into fourth place. 289 top end. I'm expecting some stuff today from Alpine. No, for no particular reason. So, what have we got right now? What is the sit rep? Sonoda is out on track. What is Sonoda's doing a long run on hard tyres? Actually, wow! Look at the number of laps. Look at the number of laps Sonoda's done. Sonoda on the hard tyres, 13 laps down. I feel like they're just doing long runs, right? It was about the question you asked about the tyres. Going to use them besides testing. No. I agree, Kai. Thanks for that. Hey, Rich. Which rookie do you think will finish higher in the standings? Did a video about what I think about the rookies on the channel, Paul. Please check it out, do. Joe is up there again in P2. Yeah, indeed. It's mad, isn't it? Notice quite a few of the cars have flat engine cover with the airbox poking out the top rather than slope smooth airbox engine cover. Notice that quite a few of the cars have flat engine cover. Yeah, I think it's because they're trying to move a lot of the weight sort of inboard and increase the center of gravity and stuff. I see, Dan. Sorry. Uh, as we're on board with Sargent on a green first sector there. We've seen Norris has just left the pits on some fresh medium tyres, as has Sainz. Nearly every time you see them go... Oh, wing on the Mercedes. Okay. We're seeing Sainz leave the pits on fresh mediums and Norris leave the pits on fresh mediums. This normally means they've been putting in a time after that. So keep an eye on what Sainz does here. Where is he on the track? Where is he on the track? I'm not. Oh, there he is. Yeah. Bottas can win the championship this year. Maybe. Is Max going to drive in the afternoon? I believe so, Alvin. I believe so. That's what people in chat have said. Did Will Buxton just touch that wing? I love that they've made it a rule that they have to be visible now. I love that it's a roll. Um, yeah, sorry, I was just looking at the front wing that they've got going on. Um, he's very close to that wing. He's a brave man. He's lucky no one's like, oi. He's very close to that wing. But, okay, so let's see if Norris sets a time here. He's out on track. What's he going to do with his... it's a green first sector there for Lando Norris. McLaren need to do McLaren need to do a bit of something today, don't they? I think everyone agrees McLaren were deeply underwhelming yesterday with everything they did. Not many laps comparatively, and seemingly not very much pace either. As Norris is approaching sector 2 now. Where's Sainz? Just going over the start finish line now. Norris is coming up to the end of the second sector. What's he going to do? Is it going to be another green sector? Are we going to see him move forward? We're seeing him on screen as well now. I've got a bit of a delay versus the track map and the timing, and no, it's a white sector in sector 2. Oh, he slowed down. He slowed down through turn 11. Norris did there. What's Sainz doing? Just a white first sector, so maybe not going for it. 2 seconds behind you. Guess they're on a different program entirely. Yeah. I don't think they're. I think they've had some issues this morning though with the floor, haven't they? So, if Bottas wins the championship, I'll run down Rich's street naked. Glad. Can you imagine if it happened? It'd be hilarious. Oh, bits falling off Sonoda's car. Yeah, something fell off there, as now we're seeing Fernando Alonso out on track again. Yeah, falling apart on the bumps, quite literally. And we'll end the poll there. Are Aston running low fuel? 71% of you think yes, they are running low fuel to be up there, which is interesting. A lot of the pundits thought they were as well, to be honest. Alonso's out on fresh mediums. Is he going to have a go? Let's see. Is Rich going to have some excitement this Friday morning? Is the test tight? I think it's looked slower, Si. Yeah, it's not looked great. Morning, Pascal. How you doing? Look, I really like the look of that Aston as well. I think it's a good looking race car, isn't it? It is a good looking race car. I feel like I am going on about the Aston Martin a lot. I apologise. I'm really trying to hide my Alonso fan stuff, except when he does a lap. But I think it is a good looking F1 car, isn't it, generally? Last year's at the beginning was bloody ugly, but I think this is a good looking race car. Do they run all 5 available compounds? I don't think so, mate. I don't think they have to. I don't think they have to. Green sector there for Alonso. Um, watching this Alonso lap, a little bit of oversteer out of turn 8 there. It happens, though, on most of the cars. Is he going to get through turn 10 without a lockup? Looks all very tidy. It's a white sector, though, in sector 2. I don't know how far off he was, but I can see that it was a white sector. Pretty much done. Pretty much done. 0.6 off, yeah. It's looking quick, though. I tell you what, though, look, Sonoda just quietly doing the laps. Up to 45 laps already this morning. That was actually his fastest lap. That was actually his fastest lap, I think, for Alonso. He just mucked up the 0.6 in the middle sector. So the middle sector, it's downforce, isn't it? Really, because that's through. Oh, they're looking at the floor of the Mercedes. Is this a replay from earlier, guys, or is this now? I think there's a big problem here. I think the floor is really messed up on that Mercedes, which is a big problem because that will skew every bit of data. Because the floor, every team has said it, the floor is so important now. As Norris goes on to set a personal best lap there. Yeah, that floor looks not good. That floor on the Mercedes looks not good. It happened before I managed to get on the footage, Kai. Someone said it fell off or whatever, but I don't know. They were saying something fell off the Merc and Alonso ran over it. Yeah. Let's try and find it. Again, guys, please use the Twitter, the Sausage Curb, and tweet me if you find any images of anything. I'm trying to find some images now for you guys. I'm only finding. I'm trying to find something now, but I'm not finding anything. Anything in particular. Trying to. If anyone finds out, tweet me with it. I'm not finding anything in particular, guys. If you find something, tweet me. I'll keep looking every so often. And if I can find something on that damage on the floor, I will bring it to you. But there's nothing on Twitter right now. Twitter seems to be the fastest place to get hold of things. So, how do you feel about the testing so far, guys? Has anyone been surprising to you? Are you impressed by anyone? I'm quietly, actually, they might be down in 10th, but I'm impressed by the runs that Tsunoda is doing. He's on his 19th lap now on the hard tyres. Clearly 2 long run simulations because he's done nearly 50 laps this morning. And that's just good to see, generally. Getting the miles done. Getting plenty of miles in is Tsunoda. And that's always so important in testing. It's a busy track right now. We've got Perez, Sargent, Sainz, Alonso, Tsunoda, Norris, and Magnussen out on track. Aston and Williams for you, Gled. Yeah, same here, mate. Aston, especially Alonso, surprised you? It's something I've been saying for a while, pre-Alonso going there, that Lawrence Stroll is one of those people that wins. He just is one of those people in life that doesn't do losing, right? And I think the approach he's having towards Formula One is just so intelligent and well thought out and correct. And again, before Alonso, I thought that, where he's looked at what do you do? Well, you get the best people you can recruit, and he's had now a few world champions in the team. You get the best engineers and aerodynamicists you can recruit, and he really has. He's gone and got some of the best people from Red Bull and all over the place. And then what do you do for these people? You give them the best facilities you can give them, and they're going to have the most technologically advanced factory in a couple of years. And they're really going to be moving forward, I think, on the grid in the next few years. So are we seeing Lewis Hamilton leaving the pits again? The left side of that floor does look something. It does look damaged, doesn't it? Thank you for the aha. Now let me just see something on something on the floor definitely fell off, and then Alonso ran over it. Yeah, so it looks like maybe a 30 centimeter piece of carbon came off, maybe 5 centimeters wide, 30 centimeters long, something like that. Piece of carbon came off of Lewis's right side floor, and then Alonso's run it over. I'm not sure I can show this image on stream because it's maybe I can. I don't know. I don't want to get done for copyright because it's Formula One, right? Cheers, Kai. Thank you. I'm not sure I can show it on stream because it's moving F1 images, but I can probably freeze it actually. 1 minute, I'll freeze it because then it's an image, isn't it? Right. Let me just try and there we go. It's very hard to freeze frame this. 1 minute. Yeah, they were gone yesterday afternoon, Pascal. They were gone yesterday afternoon. There you go. Can you see this bit here? That's pretty much all we can see that's come off. It does flick up, but it's come off this side of his floor, and that's all we see. And then Fernando runs over it. Let me see if I can find a better angle on that for you. Let me just. The video playback on Twitter is being a little bit annoying. I will say that. Let me just see. Right then. It's very hard to pause this. Right then, there we go. And there you go. That's after Alonso has run over it. So it looks like it's got a bit of a silver edge on it, or end on it, and then you've got a big long bit of carbon there. So that's basically what's come off the floor, and that can really impact things. The floors are so important these days, but that is what we've got going on there, what's come off Hamilton's floor. And changing of a floor isn't a simple thing. They're going to have to bodge that for the rest of the morning, and that isn't a good thing for Mercedes. So there you go. There you go, guys. That is what's come off Hamilton's right side floor. Now, I'll try and do a little bit more digging here and see if I'll see if I can find any more images as to the part of the floor I think it could be. I just want to bring you guys as much imagery and stuff as I can. I don't know if these bits are on the car now, but maybe it could be something to do with this stuff. Maybe it's not the fins and stuff, but maybe across this edge, maybe something there has come off or something underneath. It's interesting. Look how detailed that is. You know, this is the thing. They've been saying for absolutely ages that it's the stuff under the floor we can't see. Look at all of those sort of fins and serrated edges that we can see under the floor there. And maybe it's something like that that's come off that Mercedes. I'm not sure this morning. But there you go. Something has come off the right side of Lewis Hamilton's floor. Bit of news. And yeah, if anyone gets any better images, tweet at the Sausage Curb. Cheers, guys. Thank you very much for that. Good morning, MC Houseboat. How are you doing? It could cost a lot of downforce. It's possible it costs a lot of downforce. Yes, for sure. Please do make sure you're smashing that like button on the stream, guys, and also hitting that subscribe button if you are new. Welcome. My name's Rich. I'm going to be covering and doing a watch along of all of the F1 testing remaining. That's up until 11:15 today. Then I'll be live at 12:15 again, all the way through till 4:30. And then tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., I'll be live again until 11:15, and then 12:15 until 4:30. I think the sessions are the same tomorrow, but I'm going to be covering every second I'm going to be covering every second of the F1 testing. So please do hit that subscribe button. And I'm also going to be doing race watch-alongs. So if you want someone to watch your races with, and I try and be unbiased unless it's Alonso, but I try and be unbiased. I don't care about the whole Lewis and Max rivalry thing. I literally don't care about it. So if you want someone who doesn't care about all that stuff, hit that subscribe button. And yeah, please get involved. Yeah, where are you from, Alvin? Lewis is struggling with that Merc. I wasn't watching. I was doing my little speech there. How you doing, Wayne? Good morning. How you doing? How you doing? I'm loving seeing Formula One cars. I'm just loving seeing Formula One cars. Being biased to Alonso is very understandable. Sorry I'm late, boss. Dog ate my slipper. Yeah, I'll let you off. I'll let you off. Right, the floor. I'm seeing. They're showing the floor right now, so I'm maximizing it. I didn't see anything. Did you guys? Did you guys see anything particularly crazy there going on with his floor on the right side? I think it was something from underneath, maybe. I don't know. I'm so sad that I can't watch the testing live. I'm trying to bring you as much of it as I can, Hypixel, and I will show like stills and images. Feel free to tweet me at the Sausage Curb, and I'll show things on the screen if there's anything particularly interesting happening. But right now, people are just doing the times. Sonoda is out on fresh mediums. Maybe he's going to try and set a time here with the green first sector. He's done 2 long runs of 25 laps apiece. That's really good data for AlphaTauri, that, actually. It's really good data for AlphaTauri, that. 2 long runs. Are the testing footages shown on F1 TV? They are, yes. It's Perez this morning, no Saj. It's Perez this morning, Max this afternoon, and then Perez all day tomorrow, apparently. As we see Sonoda approaching the end of the second sector. What's the time going to be? I think that's a couple of seconds off, actually, through the second sector. So maybe he had a mistake. I'm just seeing him approaching it on my footage now. Has there been a serious issue so far this session? The only news I'm aware of is the part coming off Lewis Hamilton's floor, but other than that, not that I'm aware of. So please do let me know in chat if there's been any other issues this evening, getting ahead of myself, this morning. Where do you get the live timing data? Where do I get it from? Formula One. But I get the track map from somewhere else. 120 viewers. Yeah, up over 100 viewers again. Thank you so much for the love and support, guys. I didn't sleep last night with the excitement of what today could bring. Who do you think is going to dominate this season? I hope nobody, Govind. I hope nobody dominates this season. That's not what I want to see in Formula One. I just want to see a great close championship, whoever the champion is. Obviously, I'm an Alonso supporter. I'd love it to be Alonso. I'd love this pace to be real. But I'd just like to see a good title fight. I had a bit of a thought. Right. Either last night or this morning. I think last night I saw a TikTok and it was like a Hamilton TikTok, right? And I had a thought. Right. I think Max and Lewis fans will always remember 2021 for different reasons, right? But I had a thought as a Formula One fan. Wouldn't it be sad? Because I was talking about me and Schumacher and Hakkinen when I was young. But wouldn't it be sad if that's all we get from Lewis and Max? I think all Lewis and Max fans would agree they'd like to see those two go at it again. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be sad if we didn't know that was the end of that, and that rivalry is actually done, and that the Mercedes can't get to that Red Bull level again? And as a Formula One fan, while 2021 whatever, I was thinking, wouldn't it be sad if we don't get that again? You know, that we didn't realise that was the moment and that it won't be again. Because you don't know until your season's down the road that, oh, that was good, that. That was good, that. Ham versus Max versus Leclerc. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I like Leclerc, but I still don't feel Leclerc is on that level. I'd love your opinions on that, actually, guys. Do you think Leclerc is on that level where he's obviously rapid, right? But he made some mistakes last season. Ferrari definitely made their share of mistakes. But do we think Leclerc is on that Max and Lewis level where he could go for an entire season? And I think he will be. Maybe this season he gets there. But last season he made a few mistakes which showed over a season. I think even if Ferrari hadn't made mistakes, I think Max would have got him just because of the pressure, and Max had experience with that against Lewis. And, you know, do you know what I mean? And I think Leclerc will get there, but I just don't think he's quite there. Guys, smash a like on the stream. If you're on mobile, I think you have to close the chat and then hit the like. All right, it really, really helps the stream. There's 122 of you in here right now and only 30 likes. Smash that like button for me. Make sure you're hitting it for me. It really helps. Lots and lots and lots. EJ saying, not yet in my opinion. Leclerc is not ready for that, Pascal says. Gled says, I think where he's best and live with Max and Ham is only on the street circuits. Oh, that's an interesting thought. Leclerc makes a couple of mistakes under pressure, Alvin says. Dean says Leclerc doesn't have the level of consistency up to now. That's what separates people like Max and Lewis, etc., from the rest. It's performing week in, week out. Agreed, Dean. Agreed. I think he's a superb driver. And honestly, I had, maybe 4 seasons ago, exactly the same criticism of Max. Exactly the same criticism of Max. And it was true. Max would do randomly silly things. The only one that ever jumps out in my mind is Turkey chasing, I think it was Perez, and Perez was in the Racing Point at the time, and it was throwing down with rain, and Max had no reason at all to get so close to him, and Max spun. And it was just silly and not needed. And Max has got rid of those moments, or seems to have, and he's moved forward because of it. And that's just a maturity and experience thing, you know? Is Ham driving with aero rigs? Not right now, I don't think, mate. Not right now, Kushal. Craig said, so much potential with Leclerc, but when does it get to the point where there's no longer potential? And that's where he's at. In the next 2 or 3 seasons, I think, Craig. Leclerc got a bit mentally hurt from Ferrari last year. Yeah, and he apparently fell out with Binotto and stuff over everything. This year, Max versus Ham versus Alonso versus Leclerc. Ooh. 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 Imagine, Pascal. Imagine. Let's see this year that he will not fight the paddock along with the other drivers. It's an interesting one, you know. Right, I want... How can I do this? How can I do this here? How can I do this? I want your order of that, right? Ordered 1, 2, 3, 4 in your order of who you think would win that. So how can I do this? Let's do a pinned comment. Order these in equal equipment. Chat. Oh shit. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. So, oh God. Never mind. Forget this idea. How would you order them? With not with the cars. We couldn't. We don't know what the cars are going to do. So let's just play a hypothetical that they're all competitive. They're all competitive, and they can all win. Like they've all won races. All the cars are strong. Not right now. Just take bias and, well, we know Red Bull and Ferrari are fast, and we don't know about actually Aston. But let's just say 1, 2, 3, 4. What order would you put Max, Hamilton, Alonso, Leclerc? What order would you put those? Max, Hamilton, Alonso, Leclerc. What order would you put those for in competitive machinery? That they all could win races. They are all in with it. They could all win races. What order would you put those in? So Dean says, I hate to admit it as a fan of Lewis, but I'd say Max, Lewis, Alonso, then Leclerc. Craig says Hamilton, Alonso, Max, Leclerc. Based off current form, Max, Alonso, Lewis. Can't really tell. Alonso could be more ruthless. Lewis faster on pure pace. And then Leclerc. No idea who would win, but Leclerc last. Max, Alonso, Hamilton, Leclerc. Max, Leclerc, Lewis. What about Alonso? Hamilton, Alonso, Max, Leclerc. Alonso, Max, Hamilton, Leclerc. Hamilton, Alonso, Max, Leclerc. Alonso and the rest. Equal machinery. Alonso, Lewis, Max, Leclerc. Mate. Look, that's surprised me. I get it. I get it. But I actually thought you guys would rate Leclerc higher. You've just put him fourth. And actually, yesterday, right, I made a comment and people were surprised when I said you'd put 5 drivers ahead of Norris, but I'm surprised because I've said a few times that I think Leclerc is excellent, but people do overrate him, but maybe they don't. Maybe they don't. You know, I mean, you can't say he's not excellent. He is, isn't he? But Hamilton. He likes Hamilton, the boy. Leclerc, yeah, I think he just needs a bit of that mental fortitude, doesn't he? He just needs a bit of that, you know. And they've all been there. Max definitely went through that phase, 100%. I think he's through it now. I think he has matured as a driver. You still hear him going mental over the radio, but he has matured as a driver, and I think now it's important Max can go crazy over the radio, but he can separate that from his driving. Whereas before, he was going crazy over the radio and doing silly bits and bobs every now and then, you know. I think that's fair, and that isn't me knocking before anyone starts. That's my opinion, having watched F1 for years. Does anyone think Sainz can do damage this year? I think Sainz, his entire career, he's quietly done an excellent job wherever he's been, is what I'll say about Sainz. Cheers, Alvin. Thank you. Yeah, little Senna hoodie going on today for day 2 of testing. Do you think Lewis will win his 8th this year? Well, I've done my predictions. There is a prediction video on the channel. Please do check it out, guys. I think I think he's capable of it. The Mercedes needs to be in the right. I don't think Lewis has lost any of his pace, but the car has to be right, doesn't it? You know, and that's what I'll say about that. It's very close between Max and Leclerc. It is. I think Sainz is going to improve a lot, possibly. Day 2 of testing, checking out this stream. Good vibes all around. Thanks for streaming. Thank you for being here, James. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I didn't sleep last night. I'm not gonna lie. Well, saying I didn't sleep's a bit of a lie. I probably had 2 hours sleep last night because I was super excited to do this watch along again, and hope yesterday wasn't a fluke. And we're sat at over 100 viewers, which is incredible. So get involved with the chat, guys. The more of you that are involved with the chat, the more of you that hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, the more this channel will boom. And I promise you, I will be making absolutely loads of content if you do that. So, yeah, please do become a subscriber to the channel. I'm going to open up the stats of the channel right now because it's very possible that we could become partnered today on YouTube, which would be absolutely magnificent. We're at 923 subscribers. Do you think, well, I mean, if we have a day like yesterday, it is possible we hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, which means we've just got to get the watch hours then to get partnered, which would be amazing. I sat for 2 hours straight. We're rich, 81 subs away. Charlie beats himself up too much. Agreed. He needs to blame others for his mistakes and not dwell on them. Yeah, it was him. It was him. I'm going to try and see if I've got a flask and make myself a flask of tea for this afternoon, honestly. So currently, with an hour and 47 minutes to go left in the morning session, we have Sainz, Zhou, Alonso, Magnussen, Ocon, Perez, Sargent, Hamilton, Norris, and Tsunoda. Tsunoda with a very impressive, out on his own, 61 laps, now doing a long run on medium tyres. AlphaTauri clearly have a programme of long stints this morning. He is flying through the laps to say we've got an hour and 3/4 left in this session. Brilliant work being done at AlphaTauri right now. The pace, irrelevant. They're getting some incredible long-run data about the car, reliability data, tyre data, absolutely everything. They've clearly done like baseline setups yesterday, and then they've just said to Yuki, right then, we're going to do 2 25-lap hard tyre runs, and then we're going to do, well, we'll see how many laps he does on these mediums, but they were brand new when he put them on. So really good to see. Why isn't Ham's time improving? He's got a damaged floor that they're dealing with at the minute, Karun. Alonso is pretty much a car whisperer. He can get everything out of any car. I think he's incredible. That's why he's my favourite driver. Do you think Piastri can be on the same level as Norris? Yes, I think Piastri is a generational talent. I think he's very, very special indeed. Pascal, I still need to get used to the red on the AlphaTauri. Same here. I keep wanting to call it Alfa Romeo. I agree. The red doesn't seem right, does it? Could I ask how Russell is doing? He's not in the car this morning. He's not in the car this morning, Russell. It's Hamilton's session this morning. So that is the rundown this morning. We do have a notification of a tweet. Oh, it's people retweeting. Thank you. I appreciate that. Russell's off drinking his latte. Right then, just looking about the place. Nothing new there. No, they didn't. There's only one car. There's only one car per team, and the drivers are swapping between that car. So yesterday Russell did the morning, Hamilton did the afternoon, and I think today we've got Hamilton doing the morning and Russell doing the afternoon. Any idea why Perez is in the car this morning? No. I've not seen any news on it. I think the sensible option we've agreed on is that maybe he's a bit sore after yesterday because he did so many laps in one go. It is pre-season, isn't it? And maybe he's just a little bit fatigued. Actually, has anyone else seen or heard that actually Lance Stroll has broken both his wrists? Has anyone else... I don't know if it's true. Is it actually confirmed he's broken both his wrists? Now, I think it's possible to have surgery these days for him to be back in the car for next week, but we could see Drugovich drafted in for the first race of the season, which to me it makes sense. It makes sense to me. If Stroll is anything but totally fit, I think I would go with Drugovich, and just let Stroll recuperate and get ready for the race after. Right? He's out from for the first race. I think it's possible for him to have the surgery and be back. MotoGP riders do, but I'd still leave him out. I hadn't seen that, James. No. I've seen a few reports that he's broken his wrist, but not that he wouldn't not that he would miss the race. I haven't seen that confirmed yet. Were the brakes the issue on the McLaren yesterday? I actually don't know. Does anyone know? Does anyone know if it was brake issues yesterday with the McLaren? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely sure if it was. Got to be a couple of races. I don't think so, Gled. I think now they opened the wrist up and they put a metal plate in or whatever. You know, I think with MotoGP riders they can be back within a week. Yeah, it was the brakes. Thank you very much. What is it with McLaren and the brakes? What is it with McLaren and the brakes? Because that was their issue all last season, wasn't it? It was their problem all last season. The brakes. What is it with them? And why are they getting? Well, how have they got it? Why have they got it wrong 2 seasons in a row with the brakes? It's very curious. Now, they're allowed to use different brake disc suppliers. They're allowed to use different brake pad suppliers, but it's very weird. It's very weird. We sink back to reality. Why is that? Williams, come on. Williams are doing very well. 43 laps. They're on the prototype tyre. They're doing all right. Williams today, I think, looking at the numbers, sat in 7th with Sargent, who isn't Alex Albon. So I think Williams are doing perfectly fine this morning. Honestly, same thing last year. Spent loads of time in the garage testing that last year. Just seen AlphaTauri. Also, bits come off the floor. Earlier on, Tsunoda on the left side of his floors, something flew off his. Something came off his car, off the floor. Do you think Logan Sargent could get points on debut? No, I don't rate him. But then again, that Williams could be a brilliant car. But I don't think Sargent's any good, to be honest. I've made my feelings completely clear in the season preview video that we did last week. Check it out. No, Pascal. It was at the end of the start-finish straight. You know where that massive bump is? It was over that. Why do you think we're seeing floor issues today? Are they running lower today? Yes. I think it's exactly that, Dan. Williams are always decent out the garage when they end up last in race pace. It's interesting. Williams is 7th fastest at least. Yeah, and it's not all about speed. It's not all about speed. I think the really encouraging thing for Williams is they did a lot of laps yesterday with both drivers, and they're doing a lot of laps today, it seems, and I think that's very encouraging. From what you've seen, who are the top 3? I think right now it's impossible to tell, and you just still have to go with Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes as the top 3. But I am hoping this is the second day in a row we're seeing Aston up there, we're seeing Alfa Romeo up there. So I'm hoping they are real signs that there's improvement being made. And that's my hope. That's my hope. That's what I always want to see with Formula One: as many teams as possible genuinely involved. Like, because the midfield battle's always so tight. Aston a solid 4th. You think possible? It's possible. And Alonso at the wheel, he don't give up. The guy. He doesn't give up, Alonso. If there's something to be had, Alonso will give Aston it. Oh, breaking news. Right, that wasn't breaking news. Are there more any teams bouncing? When we've seen porpoising, it's only a little bit, Vlad. Um, the worst I've seen was yesterday when Ferrari were doing extremes in their setups. What do you think about the Mercs? It's hard to say. It's hard to say. It's hard to say about the Mercedes right now. It really is. Um, 1 minute. Have I linked the wrong one? Alonso improving. Oh, yeah, green first sector there for Alonso. He's on a bit of a lap. They really are going for fast laps with Alonso. It's an interesting one. Alonso's incredible, mate. He actually is. I don't know, Keith. I can't remember. Green sector, second sector there for Alonso. I think this is a fast car. I think this is a fast car, guys. I actually think this is a fast car. And there we go. He jumps up into second place. I think this is a fast car. I'm going to go ahead and say I think we've got a fast car here. I think that Aston. I think that Aston is a fast car. It might not be. It looks a little bit loose. He's doing work at the wheel, but it doesn't look dramatic. Like yesterday, Albon got a lot of time out of that Williams, but it looked hard work. He was soaring at the wheel and stuff like this quite a lot in a way that was more like it was surprising him. Alonso's corrections there were very. He's going for it a bit. I think that could be. I don't know. I don't know. I think there might be a quick car there. We'll see. No idea what's happening yet. Well, ask away, Darringtons, and I'll tell you as much as you want to know. But we'll see. We'll see on that. It just the body language. It was just the body language of the car. We don't know how much fuel's on board. We don't know how much fuel was on board of the other cars. We don't know anything about all of that. But it it looked a good car. It didn't look messy. Williams were really good with Albon yesterday, Darringtons. And again, they're putting in loads of miles today with Sargent so far this morning on 47 laps. Sonoda nearly up to 70 laps now. He's on 17 laps on these mediums at this point. I think he did two 25-lap runs on the hard tyres. So McLaren doesn't look great. Yeah, McLaren doesn't look great. I will say that. You can only look at the data we've got, right? And over there, it's on my screen above me. But you can only look at the data you've got and what you're seeing on screen, and that's all we can do in testing. The McLaren has issues, I think. Um, I think we're seeing a lot of. I think we're seeing oversteer from a lot of teams. I think they're getting used to these cars again and things like that. What's he doing? Sorry. So Hamilton was on an outlap, went in, did a front wing adjustment, and now he is crawling round the track. Is he on fresh tyres? No, he's on... yeah, they were fresh mediums, weren't they? But he is crawling along. Is he going to go for a... Is this him crawling... so that he can preserve the tyres for a fast run now? My footage is a little bit behind. Just watching Hamilton now. It's a bit odd. He really is crawling round. It's a bit weird. He accelerated brake. Maybe he's getting some temp into the brakes, and now he's accelerated out the final corner. I think Hamilton's going for a lap here. I think Hamilton's going for a lap here. What's the top speed? 322. Well, I suppose it depends where the speed trap is. Hamilton green sector, first sector. Is this the first time we're going to see the Mercedes go for it? Is this the first time? Because it looked like he was slowing to get the tyres in the window. It's coming around turn 9, 10 now. I am about 15 seconds behind on my coverage there, maybe more. 4/10 off on the big moment through 6 and 7 there, like we've seen on the Ferraris. It's the change of direction and the crosswind there. Yeah, I think even if this was planned for it to be a hot lap, the preparation for it was less than ideal. So this Mercedes fans, I don't think is ultimate pace that we're going to see. But it's 2 green sectors there for Hamilton as he's coming down the penultimate straight, passing Alonso down the straight, coming up to the final corner. I think did he back out? He's round the final corner. Hamilton looking for that final sector time now. And it is a personal best, but he was compromised on that final sector. I think if that was intended to be a hot lap, I think the preparation for it was wrong. Yeah, it wasn't a good lap. It wasn't a good lap. I'm not being funny. I feel like that was intended to be a run like we've seen from Alonso. I feel like that was intended to be that kind of lap. I think we're going to see more of that from Hamilton soon. But the tyres won't have been in the window. Like, the preparation for that lap wasn't right. You're going to see that time come down massively, I think. But I think that was the intent with that run. And the Mercedes engineers and mechanics all out on the out in the pit lane, ready to receive Lewis back into the pits. With that's a front wing adjuster, right? Yeah, front wing adjuster there. So they're there to make an adjustment on the front wing. Interesting to see, though. I don't think that's representative. Please do make sure you're hitting that like button, guys. It helps absolutely tons. If you're on mobile, you may have to close down the chat to do so, but please do. And also, if you want to see more of this content and you like these watch-alongs, I am going to be doing watch-alongs of all of the F1 races. I'm going to be doing qualifying sessions and races, and if the viewer numbers keep up like this, I'll be doing all the practice sessions as well. Please do. Actually, I'll do a poll in a minute if you want me to do the practice sessions, because I've got to test and see if people want me to cover the practice sessions. I'd love to be able to if you guys support that. And also every morning, 9 a.m, when there isn't a session happening, every morning, 9 a.m, I also do a F1 news show with the latest F1 news. So if you like that kind of content, please do hit that subscribe button, guys. I appreciate that, Si, very much. Thank you very much. Did Mercedes turn down their engines? We can't know that. We can't know that, Alvin. I have no idea, mate. I'd love to be able to tell you, but I don't know. Sorry. Made another change to the front wing of Lewis. They did make the change, I think, and now he's moved out to do another lap. And Lewis has pulled over at the start at the end of the pit lane. I think he's going through the start procedure. I don't know if we're going to see a full start launch here. Yep. So Lewis Hamilton just performed a simulated start at the end of the pit lane there. Full simulation of start. So this is what I have been saying now for a day and a half with F1 testing. The testing is literally that. It's about testing all of the different systems. It's about the engineers, the mechanics, everyone getting used to everything again. Even just going through the start procedure and how the car starts needs to be tested, right? Is all the software right? Is the clutch bite point right? Is the software to get the clutch bite point right? And Lewis getting used to the procedure, even though he'll have done it in the simulator loads and he's done it in real life loads. They have to go through all of these systems to literally test them. It's not about lap time. It's just about making sure everything works so that next Sunday everyone's good to go, and they can go and race. And that's what we all want to see. We want to see reliable cars and great racing. As we see what are we seeing here? Perez exiting the pits on some brand new hard tyres and locking up immediately in flat spotting his tyres. Wow. Well, if Perez is on a long, hard tyre run, he's just giving himself a headache. Ocon leaves the pits on some new medium tyres, and I said it earlier, I'm expecting more from Alpine today. I am expecting more from Alpine today. As we see Ocon on the fresh mediums, is he going to go for a lap? I don't know what I'm expecting, but I am expecting pace. I'm expecting more of a representative time. Yesterday they looked slow, but they had a very specific program they were running through. As we see Hamilton out on a lap again, but remember he's now on, what would these be, 6-lap-old tyres at this point? Worth noting, Mercedes fans, 288 we're seeing as a top speed there from Hamilton, which is actually faster than yesterday. And we do have a new top speed, though, of 292 from Sainz. Hamilton through the first sector is no improvement. Didn't think there would be because these tyres are a little bit old at this point. A little bit old at this point. Appreciate that, Si. I appreciate that. Thank you. So see if Hamilton goes into a longer run now. Magnussen's on he was on a long run. Sorry. Sonoda. So there is a bit of interesting for you. Sonoda did, I think, 2 25-lap runs on the hard tyres, and then did an 18-lap run on the mediums. So that is a race run, isn't it? They're doing. I think they've done sort of tyre life runs there. That sounds about right, doesn't it? That you'd get 25 laps out of a hard tyre and 18 laps out of a medium tyre. That sounds about right, doesn't it? I think Sonoda and AlphaTauri have collected that data. Do Mercedes have a competitive car this year? It's very difficult to say. Competitive, yes. Title winning, can't know until Q3 next Saturday. We can't know. It's impossible to know. It's impossible to know because we don't know anything about the other cars either. We might see some softs being boiled on this afternoon session. Maybe, Glad. That'd be good. More debris coming out from underneath the Merc. I couldn't decide whether it was, but there was a bit on the track already, Keith. I think what you saw there was a piece coming from that had come off the Alpha Tauri. The Ferrari's looking very strong, Adrian. Very strong. Please do smash that like button, guys. It helps lots and lots. We've got 59 likes. Cheers, guys. Today's going brilliantly again, isn't it? Please do hit that subscribe button as well. Lower right-hand corner, I think it's somewhere down here, the subscribe button. I noticed that too. Noticed that Toto didn't smash any tables last year. Don't know. Maybe he did. It was Gled, but luckily I know you and I made sense of it. And I thought, he can't have had any gin. It's only 9:45 in the morning. Thank you very much, Jay Hopper. Appreciate that. Who's my favourite driver? Fernando Alonso. Who's yours, Manish? Who's yours? Just so everyone knows, I'm all about Formula One in here. I won't ever poke the Max versus Lewis stuff, ever, because it bores me. I'm all about Formula One. I'm all about great racing. I'm all about everyone, as many people enjoying the sport as possible. So if people say, I like Max, I like Lewis, that's absolutely fine. That's absolutely fine. We all have favourites. If people say they're a Williams fan or they're a Haas fan, all good by me. It's all good by me. Lewis, Manish is a Lewis fan. Let us know in chat, who are you a fan of? Or what team are you a fan of if you're not a fan of a particular driver? Or are you a fan of Formula One in its entirety? Cheers, Alvin. Appreciate that. Russell and I would love him to win the World Championship. I think he will one day. Keith thinks Lewis is a throbber. McLaren, Kai says. My favourite is Alonso. And I have a bit of a soft spot for Alpine as a team. All GB. So you're sort of you like your nationality, EJ. Is that what that is? You like all British drivers? Stefan is a fan of the Hulk. Max is a throbber, lol. No gin today, but possibly had a few too many, celebrated the Man United result. Nothing wrong with that, Glad. It was a good result. I try not to watch F1 as a tribal fan of a driver or team. I root for the Brits to do well. A lot of people do, like EJ. AlphaTauri and Red Bull. So you like a Red Bull family fan. I really feel like Mercedes is sandbagging until my Q3. I don't agree at all. I don't. They haven't got time to sandbag. I look. It's not against anyone in particular, but I hate the. I'm going to say it out loud. I hate all that outlets being lazy with their analysis and spreading the whole sandbagging narrative. I hate it with a passion. It's not good enough. It's lazy. Be better with analysis. And that's not you guys. That's other outlets. It bores me because it is just lazy analysis. That's all it is, saying, oh, the sandbagging. No, you just can't explain it. You don't have the depth of knowledge to explain why that team appear slow right now. So you're just going to go, sandbagging. It's lazy analysis. Test tyre, prototype tyre. That's what that is. Did Perez sign his contract with RB too early? I don't think so. I don't think so. Why would he have signed it too early? I've never been a Ferrari fan, but I do like both Carlos and Charlie. I'm confused. I like them both. I'm not a particular Ferrari fan, but I like Ferrari. I've no issue with Ferrari or Carlos or Charlie. I don't think the Merc car is great. I'm only going off the onboards, but it looks a handful. I can't. Yeah, I know you're a Merc Lewis fan there, Gled. Right now, it doesn't look particularly good. That Red Bull looks stonking. It looks unbelievable. I expect Alonso to have a good tool to develop a good racing in the top 8. Hopefully, Stefan. I hope so. I hope so. Perez's contract is till 2024, is it? I'm not sure, Alvin. Does anyone know when Perez's contract is till? Thoughts about Esteban Ocon? Uh, he's one of those drivers that quietly goes about his work, isn't he? Ocon. I think he's a very good driver, and I think he's got a lot more race wins in him. I don't see him as a world champion, but I think if Alpine give him the car, I think he can win races. Does that make sense? You know, because you'd say Leclerc, for example, world championship material probably. Ocon, I think he could be a multiple race winner, but is he a championship contender? I don't see it personally. Personally, and that's nothing against him. That's nothing against him. Ocon is solid like Hulk. Probably agree with that, Stefan. That's a good assessment. Perez is under contract until 2024. So, let me just, one moment. I suppose that, so he's under contract till the end of this year. Is that what you're saying, Paul? So, let us do this. Let us do this. I have no particular opinion on this. But here you go. You've got a poll in chat. Oh, massive oversteer from... Oh, no. Oh, is he doing that? Is Lewis doing that on purpose? He must have been doing that on purpose. Lewis Hamilton must have been doing that on purpose, what we just saw. If not, that looked horrific. He must have been doing that on purpose. I think it will be mid-season. Well, yeah, I should have just said, will he replace him? What's your favourite livery? I really like how the Mercedes looks. I think the Aston's a good-looking car as well. I know it's pretty much the same as last season, but I really like how that looks. I think the Ferrari looks a great car as well. Lewis pushing his trolley around Tesco's. It did look horrible, didn't it? It did look horrible. Hamilton's are still on those scrub tyres. I want to repeat the 2012 season. God, I'm old. I can't remember 11 years ago. What happened in 2012? Did AlphaTauri deliver a solid lap time so far, or same like last year? AlphaTauri are just doing lots of miles today. So AlphaTauri have... Excuse me, sorry, bloody hell. AlphaTauri have done two 25-lap hard tyre runs and one 18-lap medium run. I don't see why Red Bull would drop him, as he's the best second driver they've had in years. I mean, there's one big reason. Daniel Ricciardo. Oh, was it that happened in 2012? 7 winners in 7 races. I don't see that happening. God. No way. What Lewis is doing there is not like... There's nothing I can think of that would be advantageous for Lewis to be laying stripes down with those tyres, unless they're artificially wearing the tyres. I just can't think of why he or they would be doing that. I can't think of a reason why, because obviously he controlled the slide and everything like that, but he can control the throttle and the traction much better than having to stripe the tyres. Like, that was weird. I don't know why. something for me, something is really not right there with the rear of that Mercedes. Um, yeah. And Davidson's saying it looks like he totally did it intentionally, and it's just weird. It's just weird that he would be doing that. There's something not right at the rear of that Merc. Um, it was when Alonso couldn't get past someone in the last race and Vettel won it. Oh, in the Ferrari. Yeah, yeah, I remember now, Gled. Um, in my opinion, AlphaTauri livery is trash. I don't like it as well. I think if Perez don't deliver and De Vries does a good job, De Vries will replace Perez. Ooh, there's a shout. Can someone suggest a website to watch this live? Yes, Sky. It costs money. Um, and I won't have people suggesting piracy in the chat. I will immediately block anyone that does. Yes, he would, Alvin. If something wasn't right, he was probably doing something on purpose just to see how it reacted and what it felt like. Any problems for Ferrari? Not that I'm aware of. I think they've had quite a smooth day of it so far. Not sure if De Vries can keep up with Checo. I think he can. I think De Vries is an excellent driver. I think he can. We'll see more in this season, but De Vries is an excellent driver. Is Alpine actually slow as hell? No. No? How much is Sky? A lot of money. I think Horner is bigger mates with Danny Rick than he is with Perez. I agree, Keith. Maybe in 2 years. Why in 2 years? It's not like De Vries is young. Oh. Let's have a recap of my phone. Um, um, can Lewis win eighth? Yes. Yeah, there's no reason why he can't win an eighth. The nose cone from yesterday was the only problem Ferrari had. Yeah, I heard a lot about that. I was talking about that earlier, the nose cone on the Ferrari. What happened with McLaren? Apparently brake issues, Adrian, much like last season. They have brake issues. Apparently. Anything wrong with the Merc? They did lose a piece of the floor, the right side of the floor on Hamilton's car. McLaren binned it this time. Out! There you go. So we're seeing Aston back out on track. Who do we have out at the minute? Magnussen, Norris, Perez, and Alonso out on track right now. I think AlphaTauri have got so much data from this morning. Actually, yeah, Perez is also on a long run on the hard tires. We're seeing them go into long runs now. We're seeing a difference of um, you're watching from school. Stefan, it'll be interesting to see the leadership of Red Bull changes after Max' death. The Thai family wants more power. Dr. Helmut Marko is getting old. I think it's pretty much autonomous, Stefan. Certain an organisation of that size, Stefan, they will have everything in place. Are you a fan of Ayrton Senna? I respect his status within Formula One, yeah, for sure. Legend of Formula One. Am I a fan of his? Well, I suppose. Strong showing from Alfa Romeo. Which was better, Michael or Senna? Michael. Strong showing from Alfa Romeo. Hopefully they fix their reliability issues from last year. Alfa Romeo, yeah, they've both days so far they've appeared really strong. They haven't done the greatest amount of laps today so far, but they have looked. Not a fan of Senna. Great driver, but a bit of a throbber. Yeah, like, you know, if he was alive and racing today, I wouldn't cheer him on, but I'd respect him. You know, it's one of them. It's the same with Max. Like, I wouldn't cheer him on. I'm not a Max fan, but I respect him. Should F1 have cancelled the race after all that had happened? What? I know I'm wearing a Senna top. Michael better than Senna based on numbers or talent? Based on feeling. Based on feeling. No way my guy to just said Schumacher better than Senna. Yes. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. If you no longer go for a gap that exists, you're no longer a racing driver. Honestly, the worst quote ever. That's just something that sounds clever that was come up with in the moment when someone had done something naughty. It sounds really profound, but it was an excuse. A clever excuse. But look, I'm not one of these people. Yes, I think Schumacher is better than Senna. I know Senna literally said that. I know where it's from. I think Schumacher is better than Senna because that's my opinion, which I'm allowed to have. If my guy wants to have the opinion that Senna was better than Schumacher, then my guy is welcome to have that opinion. That's what it's about, but there's no hate around here. That's my opinion. If you've got a different one, that's all good, my guy. The W14 is less bouncy than the rest of the cars. I don't think it's any more or less bouncy. I just don't think many of the cars are bouncy. I think the movie made that quote out to be his life. Yeah, I think it did a bit, John. When I see people use it generally, I'm like, ugh. My guy. Yeah, exactly, John. Exactly. And he, you know, it was clever. It was a clever thing to say in that moment. But let's look at the context of it. It sounds really profound, and it was clever in that moment. But let's not let's not be silly about the circumstances in which it was made. You know. But what have we got? Sainz out on track on some scrubbed mediums. Sargent is out on some new mediums. Up in fourth. Has that just happened? I think it has. Sargent into fourth place there in the Williams with a good amount of laps. I think Williams, the step they thought they'd taken, I think they have. It's interesting, though, John. It is interesting how difficult it is for people to understand how I'm sat here in a Senna top, but then I can also critique him. You know? Lauda, for me, will always have huge respect. There you go, Lauda. Legend of the game. Legend. People forget there was a hell of a lot going on around that. It isn't true to how racing works, unless you're Max. John, just a little poke. I think sometimes, you're allowed to say stuff. Um, a certain driver in 1989 took someone out at the last chicane of a certain racetrack and then decided to continue, then gets disqualified in the end. Eh? You don't have to be cryptic about it. You can just say it. If you don't go for a gap, you know, not a racing driver no longer applies in modern F1. If you look at the bigger picture, I think it's just, I don't know. It's a quote, and because Senna said it, people use it to be like, oh, you're meant to be aggressive and bump people off and stuff. And it's not what I'm about. I think like I say, I can respect Senna and I can respect him as a legend of the sport. And I'm sat here in a Senna top, but I can quite easily say he said some absolutely stupid stuff, and I think Schumacher was better. I can say that with no irony, as that's my opinion, and other people will completely disagree, and that's fine. It's fine. No Saj there thought says louder. Will have his huge respect, legend. It's like it's possible for for more than one thing to be true, and it is true. My opinion differs. Jackie Stewart was basically slating him at the time. Very true. In that interview, he was, wasn't he? And Senna was offended by it, wasn't he? He was offended by it in that moment. Please do make sure you're hitting that like button on the stream, guys, and also subscribing to the stream. If you're into watch-along content and you want to join me for watching the testing and also the season as we continue, I'll be doing the qualifying sessions and the races watch-along. I'm going to do a poll in a minute about practice sessions. If you want to join me for all of those, hit that subscribe button. I'm also live every morning at 9 a.m. with the latest F1 news, unless it's a practice day or whatever. But Monday to Friday, I'm live with the latest F1 news as well. So please do make sure you're hitting that subscribe button. We're very, very close to 1,000 subscribers, which means partnership on YouTube. So please do. Michael also done the same many occasions. He done it for a championship. Indeed, James, but he didn't say the quote. I'm not saying... That's what I'm saying. I would call it out. Look, I would call it out if Schumacher, if there's a quote that people use for Schumacher in saying it was okay, then I'd use it. And I'd call it out as well. Like, I'm not blind to bias. Like, I can honestly say, around Alonso, the whole thing around Singapore and Nelson Piquet Jr.'s, and I'm an Alonso fan. I think it depends a bit on the style of the driver. You have Hamilton, who's not very good on wheel-to-wheel racing, but fantastic at leading a race and creating a gap and controlling it. Oh no! Oh no, Ronald! Oh no, Ronald! Did you just say that Hamilton's not good wheel-to-wheel racing? Oh, Ronald! Oh no! Bad take. Bad take. Very bad take. Oh no. Oh. Oh no, that's left I need to wash my eyes out. Hello Cameron, how you doing? Oh no, Ronald. Oh. Oh, I'm not on board with that. Michael always had a teammate helping him. Barrichello basically was a test driver for Michael. Oh, come on. Be better than that. Be better than that. No, because we're not partnered yet, Tajinder. I can't believe how many people are saying that Red Bull have already run the season based on Verstappen's lap yesterday. It was 3 seconds down on Charles' quali. Yeah, we don't know yet, Liam. We don't know yet. Look. Yeah, Ronald. Again, it's opinion. It's opinion, Ronald, and it's fine if you have that opinion. But I think throughout Hamilton's career, there is a lot of examples of him being extremely good wheel-to-wheel racing. Now, the last few seasons, what I feel might change people's opinions on that is the aggressive nature of how Max races versus the less aggressive nature of how Lewis Hamilton races these days. But I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. Sorry, mate. If you have that take, that's okay. But I don't agree that Lewis Hamilton isn't good at wheel-to-wheel racing. I think what we've seen recently in seasons gone by is self-preservation from Lewis Hamilton, is what I would say. That's what I would say. The problem with people think Max is good at wheel-to-wheel racing. Truth is, Ricciardo is way better. Problem with Ricciardo is he's fallen off, hasn't he? Hopefully he gets it back and can get back into Formula One. But that's the problem with Danny Rick, isn't it? Lewis is very good oversight in battles. You can respect. You can look this guys. This is what I'm about, right? You can have a critique and you can have a respect of another driver and not be a fan of them. I'm not a fan of Max Verstappen, but I fully respected a double world champion and a completely top draw elite driver. But I'm not a fan of him. I have no Max Verstappen merch and stuff like that. But it's completely possible to say, bloody hell, he's a driver. He's not my driver, but he's a serious driver. And I don't vibe with this modern. I don't vibe with this modern thing of I'm a fan of this driver, therefore I hate all of those. Like, it's such a weird thing to me that I'm not on board with. Just to let everyone know. Mercedes are sandbagging? No, they're not. Sandbagging's not a thing. We can't compare Lewis to Michael or Senna because the car they drove Jordan's different. No. Agreed, Alvin. Ronald saying, I say that based on the troublemaker he was from 2009 to 2012, but when he got in the car, he was top of the game. Not very good compared to other legends. Not comparing. Troublemaker he was from 2009 to 2012. I mean, look. I'm not. I don't think Lewis Hamilton has been any more of a troublemaker than many other drivers. I think lots of drivers had made contact with lots of other drivers, and as a neutral to the whole Lewis Hamilton thing, I've never looked at him as a dirty driver or someone causing trouble. I saw him as aggressive in his young years, but other than that, I've never, I don't know, I've never seen him personally as a troublemaker, as you've termed it. Personally, yeah, I just haven't actually. Every driver has mistakes, you know. Vettel had them. Alonso's definitely had them. I'm just looking through. Perez and Ocon, they have. You know, many drivers have issues. Russell has. It just is what it is. It's part of the learning process, isn't it? You know, it's one of them things. You know, it's one of those things. Lewis did get in trouble a lot the same as Max, but these people want to win at all costs. Yeah, exactly, Andy. Exactly. Is Verstappen a troublemaker? No, I just think he's got an aggressive style, hasn't he, Michael? Hamilton is the best at wheel-to-wheel racing. What you smoking? Experience is the thing. Indeed, Alvin. All drivers take too many risks when they're young. Yeah. Exactly. And that's what we see. When recently you look at when we look at Max versus Lewis recently, you were seeing an age thing. You were seeing an age difference thing as well in the styles. The really aggressive style of Max Verstappen and the been there, done that style of Lewis, thinking more of a long game, not the next corner game. You know what I mean? Whether it's right or wrong, that was my take on it. That you were seeing that. No, exactly, Ronald. But they all do it, Ronald. That's my point. And I think to say he's not good at wheel-to-wheel racing, just I'm not on board with it. Sorry, mate. Um, and that's just how it is. Vettel, it was Vettel and Webber, wasn't it? Um, but we can disagree. We can disagree. That's all about opinions. And I think there are worse opinions to have. I don't think it's a bad opinion to have. But I won't have, the only thing I won't have in chat and around TSKF1 is when people literally say, I hate these people, or I hate this person. You don't know them. You don't hate them. Stop saying it. It's nonsense. And that isn't aimed at anyone in chat right now. But when people go, I'm a Lewis fan, I hate Max. I'm a Max fan, I hate Lewis. Oh, God, be better. You are better. Be better. You know what I mean? It's just a terrible take. You're just not a fan of his. They're both epic. Holy crap. Logan Sargent, the ass out on that Williams. I'm looking forward to the new season. Big time. Max is still a troublemaker. People just like to go for Hamilton for no reason. F1 fans just have to respect all the drivers because at the end of the day, they're all humans like ourselves. Indeed. Why is Perez on track? A good shout. Because Max is taking the morning session off. Our opinion is a bit like maybe he's sore. Maybe he's sore from yesterday. You know, he's just a bit fatigued. Maybe he's gone and had. I think maybe he's just had a bit of recuperation this morning. It was a lot of laps yesterday for one driver, and he smashed them out. He was fantastic yesterday, was Max Verstappen, and I think this is based on nothing. I've seen no news. I just figured maybe he's woken up this morning and he's got a couple of aches, and maybe he's gone for a bit of recuperation and maybe some sports massages and those kinds of things and refueling for this afternoon. That's my opinion, based on nothing, just that he did tons of laps yesterday. And that's not a bad thing. That's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I'm not having a dig before anyone starts. I just think that might be the thing. I agree with you. Fan bases miss out a lot. Why not just enjoy? Exactly. That's where I'm at, Ronald. I will admit I'm an Alonso fan, but I love Formula One beyond anything. Is Russell and Hamilton a rivalry? Not for me, Michael. No, I don't think so. I think they're at different parts of the career. I think George will win when he can win. I still think Hamilton's the superior driver at the moment, but we'll see. We'll see, because at some point, even with my favourite driver, Alonso, at some point, it goes. The reaction times are off and things like this, and it will go. Is this the season for Lewis? I don't believe so, but we're only in testing. We're halfway through the season. Alonso even. We might be going, you've been amazing, but it's time. Well, at some point, it will happen. It's natural. It happens in all sports. At some point, it's time, mate. But for me, based on everything, I think Lewis is a superior driver to George, and we'll see this season. At some point, one day, it comes to us all, right? Because there are two scheduled first days. Because there are two schedules, the first days. He was meant to be driving the entire morning, though, Pascal. We like to judge extremely talented people in extraordinary situations. We have no idea how we would react. I can be honest, Andy. I would react terribly in all these situations. Would you say Lewis is past his prime? I think logic. Would say yes, Lewis is past his prime. But I don't mean that like he's fallen off. Just logic and age would say he's past his prime. But when you look at him, he looks in really good shape. He looks to be in a great place mentally, and he'll have the best nutrition. He'll have the best sports psychologist and sports science and everything going for him. The best fitness. you know, so logic would say yeah, but I think careers in all sports, football, in Formula One, in most sports are getting longer as science develops and understanding of what's good for elite athletes matures. So logic would say he's past his prime, but actually, is he? Maybe the prime's just longer because you used to have a window of a few years where athletes were in their prime, and God, that Mercedes looks terrible on corner exit. It looks horrible, mate. That rear end is terrible on that Mercedes. I don't know what they're doing with it, but it looks horrible. Meat on the bone. Red Bull have far more weight to play with. Maybe they can shift the balance. Yeah, they could be putting ballast all over the place. How you doing, Russ? Hope you're well. How you doing, Grex? I'm not going to read that out, but yep. Well, screw it. I have a one for Juan, just one hypothetical Juan. As Juan, the Wonder Kid, the rising number one of Formula One, Juan wonders, should Juan only win one Formula One 1 year? Would Juan want to have won that one round one, Juan? I'll read it out for you. I wasn't gonna, but I played the game. What really is happening at the Mercedes? It's just the way things go. It's just the way things are. It's just the way things are, Alvin. Red Bull were dominant. Ferrari were dominant. McLaren were dominant. Williams were dominant. It goes in cycles. um, I'm quite surprised I managed that. I don't think I stuttered. I think I managed it. I think I managed it pretty well there, didn't I? Do you oh do you think this season Merck can give us three-prong fight? Yeah. At the minute, anything's on the table. Anything's on the table right now. You know, I think anything's on the table. What do you mean, Merc terrible? Look, all the performance. The rear of the car, every corner nearly that's slow speed that Hamilton's coming out of, as he's putting on the power, he's having to put on oversteer. He's having to correct the rear end because there's not much traction at the rear end. So every time he's putting on the power, it's wanting to, it's wanting to turn a bit on him. He's having to correct it to keep it going in a straight line. It's just not looking good at the back end of the Mercedes. Right now, it's not looking good. I nailed it. I thought I did. Will Checo let Max throw on team orders in 2023? I'm sure if he's asked to, I'm sure he will, Checo. I'm sure he will, Lord. If the top three teams are very close, will the strong duo of Hamilton and Russell hurt each other's chances of winning? I don't think so, John. I think they're very mature. I think Lewis and George are very mature, and after last season, I don't think they'd be infighting. I think they understand, and I think they are both team before themselves. I truly think that they'll both want the title clearly, but I think after last season, I feel quite sure Lewis and George are on the same page of they need to get Mercedes where they want them to be, and that's what I think of that. I hope that makes sense. Out of the low speed corners, yes, Alvin. By the looks of it, what we can see. Lord, I reckon he has it in contract. I don't think so, James. I don't think he has it in the contract, James, but I think a lot of these things these days are built on a trust and understanding thing. Like, I don't think it's in the contract, but if they're on opposing like if Perez is in first and Max is in second and they are on the same strat, I don't think there will be a call to say pull over for Max. Unless Max is in the fight for the title. Then it's team orders and it makes sense. That's been a part of Formula One literally since day one. But in the first race, if Perez is winning and they're on the same strat, I don't think there'll be a team order call to tell Max to tell Checo to pull over. I feel that way. I could be wrong. Maybe. I don't know, James. I don't know. There's so much to remember. Maybe, James. Maybe, but I don't. I don't think it's a contract thing. I don't think it's a contract thing. I think it works on more of a I did that for you, you owe me one kind of situation. I think. Um, I think. Um, and that's generally what you see. What's the tyre difference in the medium with a strip or without it? I think there's the prototype tyre that hasn't got anything on the side. Perez will need to perform a bit better to be anywhere near Max. I agree. Checo isn't Max. Checo isn't on the level of a Max, a Hamilton, an Alonso, a George, a Leclerc. He isn't on that level for me. Lewis is not past his prime, but he's changed his driving style. I agree. Look at that from Sargent. Holy crap! Sargent! Go on, lad. Soft tyre run, though. Soft tyres. Soft tyres, great to see. Soft tyres, though. Let's just sprinkle a little bit of chill on. Great to see. Great to see. But let's just chill a little bit. Chill a little bit on the... You know, that was on the softs. Great to see, though. Great to see. Either way, great to see. Because you honestly, I would say if that was Albon, he'd have popped that into first. I think. I have all the info you've got, Gled. I'll bring up the time. I don't know how much I can share with you guys because I am on F1 TV Pro here. I think this is free for everyone, but I have lots of other data that I don't think I can share with you. Maybe I'll open it up on a second screen so that I can tell you the data without showing it and probably infringing on some kind of copyright. Let me just have a look. I hope that makes sense. How you doing, Christopher? Good morning. Tyres. It's just telling me mediums. Sorry, softs. It isn't telling me anything in particular about the tyres, I'll be honest. I'm really hungry today. Right, guys. Please do make sure you're hitting that like button. If you're on mobile, you may have to close the chat and hit that like button. And also, if you're into your watch-along content, please hit that subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. I think it's somewhere below me on the stream. We're at 926 subscribers. If I can get up to 1,000 subscribers, we're going to be really close to becoming partnered on YouTube, which opens up lots of possibilities. So please do make sure you're hitting that like button, subscribing to the channel, and also, just getting involved in the chat and everything like that. Do you watch the onboards? Right now, no, because yesterday they weren't working. For me, anyway. Is there 6 options this year then, Rich? Yeah, I think. Wouldn't it be great, Craig? You. Cheers for that, guys. We're up to 930 now. Do we think we're going to have a bump? Oh, I'm so excited. I'm so excited about the possibilities of TSK F1. I'm so excited. I honestly didn't sleep last night. Any other problem on the Ferrari beside the nose cone? Not as far as I'm aware, mate. Because it has been for years, Christopher. They've had a Barcelona for years, Christopher, but it's now one testing period now. When Perez and Ham is on the long run, their lap time is kind of similar. Is this means the Merc, Ferrari and Red Bull are close to each other? Maybe, Si, but we don't know how much fuel they're running. We don't know how much fuel they're running, mate. That's the problem. Do you think Merc is lacking downforce, making the rear slide? No, that's not how... No. So you've got 2 types. Okay, you've got 2 types of grip. Okay, so you've got downforce. Downforce requires speed to work. Okay, you've got to have the airflow going over the wings for the downforce to work. At low speed, it's much more about mechanical grip. So the corners where Hamilton is struggling is almost entirely to do with like suspension settings, cambers, toes, dampers, rebounds, suspension geometry, stiffness, and so low speed is more to do with all that stuff. Your high speed is all around what, like turn 4, 5, 6, 7, all around those areas. That's what your downforce is for. But the low speed stuff is all mechanical grip, and they clearly are messing around with that this morning a lot. Craig, if it's like this for practice, I can't wait for there to be a race weekend. Well, yeah, I'm in agreement, Craig. Which team do you think has the fastest car? I'm going to go out on a limb and say the Red Bull. Allocated tyre for the Grand Prix next week will be using C1, C2, and C3. That's why you're probably not seeing the soft so much. Right, okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think we might see some soft runs. It just kicked me off your channel and moved me to the official F1 channel. Well, you're better off over here, mate. Trust me. Trust me. Ooh. Ooh. If you've got any information or anything to share, please tweet at the Sausage Curb, guys. Any images that are interesting or anything like that, as we see, is it Norris running wide on the final corner? No damage done, but just ran wide a touch, right out over the curb there. And we're seeing tyres being put onto the Williams of Logan Sargent. Actually, you know what? Look, am I going to be wrong about him? I'll happily be wrong about him. For now, it's hard C1, two types of medium, C2, C3, softs are C4 and C5. Cheers, Pascal. Esteban Ocon. They're looking at the rear of that Alpine. Message about that, Rob. There's stuff I don't want to sound stream. I've got to go on site, mate. Are you on for the afternoon? I am, Glad. I am. Stay safe on site and hopefully catch you this afternoon, buddy. Take it easy. Yeah. Stroll's broken his wrist. Now, I don't. Again, I haven't. Let's have a look. I'm not seeing confirmation of Stroll being out. I'm waiting for official confirmation on that, honestly. I mean, we can I know he's broken his, or he's meant to have broken his wrist. But I haven't seen. I like to wait for official confirmation. I like sources. You know, I like to source stuff before I'll say it on stream. Do you think that Ferrari will have a real chance at one of the first three places in the drivers? Yes, I do. Leclerc and Sainz have looked quick. The Ferraris look good. I don't see why not. Who's lagging behind on the laps? You know what? Alpine are lagging behind on the laps again today, aren't they? See you later, Glad. Cheers, man. Oh, we've nearly got the morning session of day 2 down. 35 minutes to go. Right, I'm going to put a poll in chat. I keep forgetting to do this. This is a poll that I want. There you go. There's a poll in chat there, guys. Yeah, Alfa Romeo as well, but I was just seeing Joe's out on track now, so maybe he's going to smash out some laps at the end here. What tyre is he on? He's on the used prototype tyre. Yeah, it's not many laps, is it? It's not many laps at all. I think I'm going to have to look at my calendar and see about the about doing practice sessions and see what I can fit in. Yeah, Sargent is doing well. The lad, he's doing well. I'll admit it. I'll admit it. If anyone's seen my season preview, season prediction, sorry, video, people might want to check that out. There's a season prediction video on the channel. Please do go ahead and check that out. What do you mean, Christopher? In response to your poll, I voted yes because I certainly would love more coverage, but don't burn out. Long season, Russ, mate. This isn't the only thing I do. I've got an entirely different gaming channel as well. Me burning out's just a thing. How are you watching testing, Rich? Via the internet, Christopher. Do you see cars porpoising? No, they're not porpoising anywhere near. They're just not porpoising. It's not a thing, really. I think the teams understand it already with these cars. Now, we're going to see, I think, tomorrow. I think tomorrow late on we might see a few of them go for some fast runs. I think. I don't know. I think Red Bull have done a great job. I think Red Bull have done a great job. Honestly, I love the look of the Ferrari. It's a good-looking car. As we're seeing Sainz, what tyres is Sainz on used? Oh, with Sargent is he out? Yeah, he should be on track. Sargent is on fresh softs. Magnussen is on fresh hard tyres, and Sonoda is on fresh mediums. So we might be about to see Sargent go for a lap. Hopefully, we get to see him. Maybe Pascal. How much of last year do you think they spent on this year's car? A lot. Honestly, Rob. Yeah, their season. I think they knew they were going to win. Early on. So Logan Sargent is out on track on fresh softs. I love that we're talking about a Williams potentially taking top spot in the times here. Fantastic to see. Yeah, you're probably right actually about Max pushing tonight. He might. It's Max's style, isn't it? I don't think he can keep it in. I think he'll want to do that. I think he'll want to send a shot across the bow of everyone. Thank you for hanging out today, guys. Please do make sure you smash that like button, get involved in chat, and also subscribe to the channel. I'm very appreciative of the love and the support. I'm really hoping that this afternoon kicks off again and it goes mad. Yeah. So, where is Sargent on the track? He's coming around the penultimate corner just now. Yeah, it'd be good to have a good American driver. Look, I've not rated him. I've said not bad things. I just don't think he's for Formula One. I really hope he proves me wrong. I'd love him to prove me wrong. I have no problem with being proven wrong, honestly. I hope he's a very, very successful driver. But we'll see, won't we? We will see as Sargent goes down the start-finish straight. Let's keep an eye out on Sargent then on the timing. We need more Americans in Formula One. Well, no, we need more drivers of talent, is how I would say it. I don't care about people's nationality. I want the best drivers Formula One can field, is how I feel. Don't know if you've seen I dropped you. Yes, dude. I did see. Green sector there from Sargent. Good to see. Green Sargent. Green sector there from Logan Sargent. I don't have an on board with him currently. We're looking at the hands of Yuki Tsunoda on my feed. but we should be on board with Logan Sargent, in my opinion, because he's on a fast lap here. Hopefully, Sargent got past Sonoda without any issue there. He looked to. Sargent is now going around turn 11 and up the hill. We're still looking at Sonoda that's crawling up towards sector 2 time. It'd be lovely if this is green. Is it going to be green? Purple. Purple second sector. Purple second sector there from Logan Sargent. Is he going to go into the provisional top spot in this practice session? Yes, he's on softs. He's on brand new soft tyres. Is he going to put it into provisional first place? Over the line he goes. Second place, 1/10. Nearly 2 tenths off. Brilliant. I don't care if that's on softs. That's a Williams putting in a lap. Brilliant to see. Brilliant to see. You know what? Crofty's like barely even bothered about it, but that's really good to see. Right, just wait. Got Total Wolf listening. Car's out of balance. Just listening to Total Wolf. 1 minute, guys. I'll bring it to you. I'm just listening to it. Sorry, guys. I just want to bring you the Toto Wolff stuff because he's talking quite at length here. I will do. He's saying they're hiding a little bit, which doesn't mean sandbagging. It just means they're not driving to their potential. It's hot. They're having setup problems. They need to figure it out in these conditions. They're struggling with the balance of the car in the Mercedes, and that Lewis is struggling for feel at the rear. He said they, with a grin, they are hiding a little bit, which just means they're not going for it yet, which we know. That's not sandbagging. They're testing. So from that with Toto Wolff, he's basically saying that the porpoising's gone. He said that Lewis, they're struggling with the rear of the car. We'd already identified that. Lewis was very clearly struggling with the rear out of the slow corners, and he put that down to it being hot and them trying to figure out what's going on with the car. But that is testing. It's a new car. And also saying that when asked about, oh, wow, holy hell, Lewis Hamilton genuinely was almost sideways, full beans out of the final corner there. That was, Jesus, that was a brown pants moment. That was a huge snap. Oh, man. There's something not good at the rear of that Mercedes. That was a gigantic, violent snap of oversteer as he put the power on. Now, out the final corner at Bahrain, you do expect, like, you'll see nearly every car as they put the power on, right? They're turning right as they put the power. Here we go. I'm getting a replay of it. He puts the power down. Oh God, that's horrible. Oh, that is horrible. That's horrible. I mean, as they come out of the final corner, it's that right-hander, isn't it? And you'll see them turn in, right hand, and you will see lots and lots of cars give it a bit of that as they're just powering on and they're just correcting that steering. But there, that was quite violent, what that Mercedes just did with Lewis Hamilton. Woo! Not good, that. They really need to sort that out. They really need to sort that out with the Mercedes there. But basically, when asked, Toto Wolff, when asked about the Red Bull and the Ferrari, his thoughts, he just immediately said, they're fast. I think Mercedes fans need to maybe get used to the idea of not being on pace again. I think they have to be... I think you might have to get used to not being on pace for the start of the season again. It doesn't look good. It really doesn't look good at the rear there. We'll see. Indeed, Jonathan. The Aston Martin looks a good car. At the hands of Alonso earlier, it looked a bloody good car to me. Yes, it looked loose, but that tends to be how Alonso drives. Very, very by feel, a bit loose and stuff. He always looks a little bit aggressive and wild at the wheel, does Alonso. It looks a bloody good car. We have to admit, although without much pleasure, Max has the DNA of a champion. He has a certain hunger to be the first, regardless. Well, they all do, Christian. They all have that. Every one of them have that. All of them have that. Just listening to Crofty. Sargent out on fresh softs again. Starting his lap. Sargent starting a fast lap. Going for... Sargent is starting another fast lap, I think, here. So he's on fresh softs again. Williams really trying to pump out the fast laps here. So let's keep an eye on this Sector 1 from Logan Sargent again. I'd love Williams to go to the top here. Why the hell not? This isn't the fastest time to be doing this either. Green first sector. He needs to find nearly 2/10 here. If he can get a couple of green sectors here, then it's good. So let's keep an eye on this. It's coming round turns 9 and 10 now. Ran wide a touch at turn 4 there, but was still green. It's coming down the back straight now towards turn 11. Goes up through 12, and then he'll break the beam for the second sector. So we're watching now. It's coming round. Waiting on that purple second sector. Could see the Williams go top of the times here. Could be going top of the times here. Let's see as he's coming round towards the final corner on. I'm miles behind. Bit of oversteer through turn 11 there for Sargent, but that was the kind of oversteer I was saying. It's manageable. The one Lewis got was unexpected, and over the line he goes. Less than a tenth. Great lap from Logan Sargent there in the Williams. I think we may have underestimated Logan Sargent. I think we need to just take a chill on that, Jonathan. Is on soft tyres versus Sainz there on the mediums. And look, it's close. It's very close there. Within a tenth, though. Within a tenth, but he is on the softs. Mercedes still kept their secret? No. Sargent has good talent. Ooh, I just don't think he's for Formula One. Look, we'll see. We'll see. I did my season prediction video. It's on the channel. Check it out, guys. It's on the channel. You can go on it. You can comment. You can say whether you agree or disagree. But it's there. It's on the channel. Season prediction. I think it was last week or the week before we put it on the channel. I don't think Logan Sargent is for F1. I think there are a few younger drivers that are better than him. I think Drugovich is better. Tio Portier, I think, is better. I think Liam Lawson is better. I think Mick Schumacher is better. But we have him. I could be wrong. And we'll see, won't we? We'll see. We'll see. We will, John. We will. Well, we don't know. We don't know. We don't know, Josh. It looks like they're going for it. They might be going for it, or that might simply be... We don't know. We don't know what they're doing. This is the thing. No, I know, Si. I was literally watching and listening to it. That's what I said, Si. But I wanted to be very quick to say that doesn't mean sandbagging. That doesn't mean sandbagging. That means, like, we have more, but we're testing. I don't know, Josh. If they were wanting to see genuine pace, I think they'd be doing it this evening because that's when it's faster, right? How many hours left of the morning session? We have 17 minutes left, Alvin. So I wanna just say this again, right? Everyone, please do hit that like button because it really helps. If you're watching on mobile, you probably have to close down the chat, hit the like button, and it helps absolutely tons. Please do. Please hit the subscribe button down below, the big red button, I think it is. Hit the subscribe button. We're really, really close to 1,000 subscribers. If you're into this kind of content, if you want watch-alongs, if you want my analysis and videos and YouTube shorts, hit that subscribe button. I'll be covering, it looks like I'm going to be covering all practice sessions, qualifying sessions, and races this season because 91% of you have voted yes, you want me to do practice sessions, so I'm going to try. If you want more, hit that subscribe button down below. I will also be live this afternoon. I will be live this afternoon with the entire afternoon session as well. I'll be live tomorrow morning with tomorrow morning session and tomorrow afternoon with tomorrow afternoon session. So when this session finishes in about 16 minutes, there's an hour's gap and I will be back 1 hour after. Make sure you're subscribed because you should get a little notification when I go live. But the afternoon session starts at 12:15 UK time in an hour and 15 minutes wherever you are in the world. So in an hour and 15 minutes, that's when the afternoon session starts and I will be live covering the whole thing. So I hope to see you back for that, guys. Merck is having some balancing issues with the setup related thing, right? Which can be corrected on experimenting with setup. Exactly what Jonathan says. It depends. Could be, but could be an issue with the design. It's impossible to tell. I think they'd already said they've changed a lot at the rear and the geometry and everything like that. So yeah, I believe so, Jonathan. Yeah, I believe so. It's a new design at the rear. Sonoda's got the most lapping. Yeah, he has. Yeah, Oh, VSC test. VSC test in the practice. We've seen this last couple of days. Well, last day. VSC test. This is just a test of the systems for the FIA. Yeah, Sonoda earlier on today did two 25-lap hard tyre runs and then an 18-lap medium tyre run, and I haven't kept tabs on what he's done since. But very good work there from AlphaTauri. Lots of race-type data. Actually, Perez did a 24-lap hard tyre run, very similar to AlphaTauri, so did a race run there on the hard tyre. Um, hope to see Haas improve. We'll see, won't we? We will see if Haas improve. Is the design from yesterday? Yes. Yes, Si. They won't have changed the design overnight. That's not how it works. But they may well have just changed things. It's testing. It's testing. I can't say anymore. It's testing, right? It's it's literally, let's try this. Oh, that really hasn't worked. Let's try this. That's still not working. Let's try this. And that is part of it. One thing that's really important to remember is these cars are completely prototype every year. They are brand new, all of it, every year. And they have to learn. They have to figure out what makes that car work. Obviously, they have their wind tunnel, they have their CFD, they have their simulators, and they can guess. They can make extremely educated guesses, but there is no replacement to being out there on track. Sargent is on scrubbed tyres. So, you know, yeah, it's difficult. I don't think Sargent's going to start a lap because he's on scrubs. Now, this might be the data point. They could have been pushing on new. Well, he's on VSCs anyway. You can't start a lap, it's a VSC. It's VSC testing. They can't do a lap anyway, guys. Why is Perez in the pit so long? I mean, he's done 76 laps. That's a good morning session. There's nothing wrong with that. Mick Schumacher. I like Mick Schumacher. Don't hide it. I'm a fan of him. I really like Mick Schumacher a lot. And yes, I'm a Schumacher fan, but red flag? This is a test, though, isn't it? I don't think we've got a car stopped. It's nothing to do with the rear wing, Jonathan. I'm not seeing. I think this is just a red flag test. I don't think it is. I don't think it is a red flag. I think this is a system test. Yes. I don't. I don't think anything is happening. I'm getting a replay. Yeah, nothing. Carlos Sainz didn't go. I'm just listening to Mick Schumacher. He's saying the rear issues kind of correlate with what they've got in the simulator at Mercedes. It's very interesting. Mick Schumacher saying he's been part of every meeting so far that they've had, like debriefs and stuff, and they're much longer than he's used to. It's just big difference between Haas and Mercedes. Looks like Hamilton was struggling with bouncing. No, he wasn't at all, Sam. There was no bounce struggling at all. Not one bit. Not one bit of bouncing struggling at all, Sam. I don't know where you've got that from. Do you think Merck having weight distribution issue? Maybe. Maybe a weight distribution issue. Potentially, maybe. Somehow no cars ended up in the barriers so far. Yeah, it's all been very clean, hasn't it? But he also said everyone's struggling with the rear, and I think that's evident as well, Josh. If you look at the Ferrari, Carlos Sainz through what corner is it? 4, 5, 6. Between 6 and 7, Bottas and Sainz struggled massively with the rear. Ocon I don't think anyone's really had porpoising issues, honestly. But yeah, Sam, no. Hamilton has had no bouncing issues. I don't really know where you've got that from. Genuinely, I've not seen any bouncing issues from the Mercedes. So, and they've even said they don't have it. So, yeah, but Sam, he didn't say that. He said they've got no. He literally said they've got no porpoising. Um, let's say if Merc is struggling from weight distribution, is this easy to correct? Well, it depends, because certain cars will have ballast areas where they can move ballast, literal weights, move them around the car. But it depends if Mercedes even have that, and if they're on the weight limit as they are, then no, then the weight distribution is the weight distribution. But the ideal is to come in under the weight limit. Now, it did seem that Mercedes had a hatch on the front of the nose, which would probably be used for sensors or for ballast. So maybe. Um, I think the rear slipping might make it look. They remove porpoising, but then the rear has been disastrous. Yeah, yeah, it's not looked good. What are they on tires wise here? I don't know. Sargent is on new C4 softs. Is he? I didn't see. I'm just looking here. Sargent's not hanging about. Whatever he's on. It's saying it's on scrubs on the timing. It's saying he's on scrubs. So I don't know. If he's on new, he's on new, but it's saying he's on scrubs here, Pascal. I'd love to see Williams taking P1 on the timesheets. Yeah, even if we know it's a bit artificial on softs, it'd look great, right? Do you know if Merck's still having trouble to heat up the tyres? I don't know. I mean, it could be an issue. To be honest, yesterday Williams looked like they were having trouble getting the tyres warmed up. So, oh, are they doing a practice start? What are they doing? Are they doing a practice start? I think they're doing a practice start, aren't they? Oh, nice. They do have to test all this. The FIA have to test all this. So this is great to see. Imagine if we got a grid like this. A Haas on pole. Imagine if we got this. It'd be brilliant. A Haas on pole with Sargent in second, Norris in third. It'd be great, this. It'd be mad. Imagine this next week. And Davidson's doing the start. Oh, no. Kevin Magnussen on pole. Reverse grid. Are they actually going to go for it? Oh, it's an aborted start. It's an aborted start. So they've tested the aborted start, and maybe they're going to go round and do a proper start now. I love this. I love this stuff, right? I love this stuff, right? Because how can I put this? I love seeing just I don't know, the reality of it. Like, I don't know. I'm a complete nerd. That's why, like, the beginning of Drive to Survive was so awesome to me. Was that Norris and Sainz waving at each other? I think they were just waving at each other. So, is that Sainz? Sainz is in the car, isn't he? Norris and Sainz down to turn 4 waving at each other. Pair of idiots. Proper little bromance. I love it. I love it, John. I love it. And I think that's why I enjoyed the beginning of what Drive to Survive was, because it felt like we were a fly on the wall, getting access we'd never had before. I wish it had stayed that way. I wish it had stayed that way. I really do. Because it's such a better show for it. Just give us access that we don't get, you know? Oh, it's so good. Does that mean there is a chance Williams will be competitive this year? What I will say, there's a chance any team can be competitive this year. Testing is not representative unless it's Fernando Alonso in an Aston Martin. Then it is representative. Any team at this point, any team can be competitive. The only team the only team from the first day and a half that I'm worried about, honestly, is McLaren. That's the only team I'm actually worried about. Mercedes need to sort out the rear end. I think Red Bull are extremely strong again. Ferrari looks strong. I'm worried about McLaren. Mercedes need to sort out the rear. Aston looks strong. Williams look positive. Haas look like Haas. Alpine I expected a bit more, but we'll see. But we'll see. We'll see. Right, back on the grid. Right, so I'm a bit delayed from the normal stuff. So here they are for another practice start. One light, two lights, three lights, four lights, five lights, and it's go, go, go. Oh, what's what's happening? What are they doing? What's happening here? What happened there? That looked weird. He did. That was quite funny. Lewis sort of went and then stopped. Like, why did everyone stop? I don't know. Explain, please. I can't. Sorry. It was like the lights went out. Sorry. The lights went out. Sargent and Norris didn't move. Sainz nearly went into the back of Norris and then stopped. Like, what's going on? Lewis Hamilton did his start and stopped as if to say, why have we all stopped? Why did they stop? So like half of them went and the other half of them didn't go, and the half that did go sort of started and then stopped as if to say, were we not meant to go? What are we doing? It just looks so bone professionals. That's the start you get in sim racing. Half of the grid didn't move when the lights went out. Okay, so they think, yeah. Instead of going, some of them thought they were going as a grid, as a start, and some of them have treated it like go at your, like they're testing the systems, but you go at your pleasure, if you like. You go when you are ready, like a normal end of session practice when they do it. That they've literally gone, okay, the lights are out, whatever, they're testing it. There is the other half of them have gone as if it's a race start, you know. I can't really show anything of that, but it was funny to see live. It was like, what they're doing. Yeah, miscommunication. That's what it was. But there we go. There we go. That is the morning session of day 2 in Bahrain. Sainz, top of the charts there. Ferrari continuing to look strong with 70 laps. Sargent second, but on the softs in the Williams. Less than a tenth off, but with 74 laps. Good amount of laps there for Williams. Alonso in third on the mediums, 5/10 off basically with 64 laps. Better morning for Aston Martin there after yesterday struggling with mileage. Zhou there in the Alfa Romeo continuing to look good, but with only 43 laps. Magnussen in the Haas with 67 laps. Ocon in the Alpine with 49 laps. Not the mileage I was wanting out of Alpine this morning, I'll be honest. Perez in the Red Bull with some race simulations and 76 laps. Hamilton plagued by issues at the rear of his Mercedes with 72 laps. Norris with 65 laps. A lot of laps, but I don't know, I'm worried about McLaren. Tsunoda with 85 laps, but did two 25-lap hard tyre runs and one 18-lap medium tyre run, clearly doing long-run testing and baseline stuff this morning there for AlphaTauri. Really, really good. Really good there. Now, please do make sure you've still hit that like button and you've subscribed. I will be back in 1 hour to start the afternoon session, and I'll be with you right through until the end of the session. So please do hit that subscribe button down below, and I will be back in 1 hour from now. All right, guys, I will hopefully see you then. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, and I will see you in an hour. See you later.